What's up, Royals? I'm Kai. Hope you're doing well, and I have an exciting video for you. We have clowns, we have ghosts, and we have pies all in one clutch of eggs, and we're going to be cutting those open. So stick around. You're watching Lucas Nathan Royals. All right, Royals, so the goal for this clutch is to try to combine 3 recessive mutations into one animal. And those 3 recessive mutations are clown, pied, and the third one is hypo, otherwise known as ghost. We're going to try to combine them into one animal, and that's the whole goal for this clutch, is to create the stepping stones needed in order to produce the triple visual. Now, if you have been following me on this channel, you probably saw the egg pulling video. The father to this clutch is a killer clown hypo. So that's super pastel, visual hypo, visual clown. And the mom of this clutch is a enchy pied possible het for hypo. Now, last season, we proved her sister out to be het for hypo. Hopefully this time around, we can actually prove this mom out to be het for hypo as well. And that would be freaking amazing, because that means some of the hatchlings will be hypo, double het for clown and pied, and that would get me so much closer to the goal. Enough chit chat, let's cast some eggs. So let's see. That one doesn't look good. We have started with 8 eggs. Of course, that one went bad. And I didn't notice it for a while, obviously, otherwise I would have taken it out. But what's interesting to see here is that even though this one has gone like really bad, to the point of no return, I'm not going to cut it, but you can see that the mold actually didn't get too far onto the other eggs. And some people say that if the other eggs are healthy, then the mold wouldn't affect them. Well, I think some of that is true. Either case, we're going to get rid of this one. It is hard. So inside has already died. All right, instead of trying to remove the mold from the substrate, I decided just to make a new box. A couple layers of paper towels, made them wet. At this point, having the eggs in contact with water isn't really going to affect the hatchlings inside. They're not going to drown, simply because, well, we're going to cut them open, and so they'll have access to air, and they're no longer absorbing or need to absorb oxygen and have gas exchange through the shell. So right off, it looks like we have a het. That's a pretty het. That's very bright. I'm wondering if this is the sorry to be off camera. Pastel. Pastel what? Having a brain fart here. Pastel something. So this has to be a pastel, because the dad is a killer hypo clown. That's super pastel, visual hypo, visual clown. Let me get this in frame for you. Very pretty. I don't know if it could be anything else, to be honest. Maybe it's a super. Don't see enough blushing to really call this a super. So we'll just call this a very pretty pastel. That is triple het for triple het for hypo, clown, and pied. All right, let's move on to the next one. Really hate the fact that these were touching the moldy one and there's mold on it. Trying my best not to get any on my hand or in the egg. I don't think it would impact them at this point, but still, it's kind of nasty. All right, this one's interesting. So this is, wow, okay. It's God, I don't know. Enchi? I don't know. It's like very pretty. Maybe this is a pastel hypo. I don't really see Enchi here, to be honest. It's hard to tell. So maybe a pastel hypo. If that's the case, then that means the female is proved out to be het for hypo. Because right now she is a Enchi pied poshet hypo, according to the label that I made for her. And if this is a hypo, then that means she is 100% het for hypo. So that's really cool. Of course, this baby is upside down. You can see its heat pits right there in the center, but he's upside down. That is cool because it looks almost the same as this one if you look at it, but the colors are a little bit more faded out, frosted looking. So I think this is a hypo. Not 100% sure. I have to keep washing my hands. All right, so now let's get on to this one. We got 2 more eggs that were touching the mold, and I wish this mold gold thing, I wish I would be happy about this mold gold thing, but to be honest, it's still kind of nasty to touch it. Okay, this one definitely looks hypo. You can see there's some stuff going on in the middle. We'll have to keep an eye on that one. I'll take a look at it. Hopefully it's nothing that is like wrapped around the baby. But this again looks to be pastel. I guess just pastel. I haven't seen anything that's conclusive to be Enchi so far. Look at this. Look at this. Yuck. I'm gonna wash my hand again. We got one more that's moldy. I mean, this is only on the surface because it was really that other one that went bad. This hopefully is just on the outside. Come on. Give me something. Ooh. So you can see how crisp the colors are between the yellow and the black. So I don't think this is a hypo. That would make this a pastel triple het again, just like that first one. They look very similar. This one's a little bit cleaner. The one that's in the egg box is a little bit cleaner. This one is a little bit more busier. So we got 4 down. Hopefully this will be the last time I need to wash my hand. All right, so this one is probably what Mutation Creation Austin calls Cocoa Mojo. It's a little bit of cocoa that's stuck on the egg. This was probably one that was laid upside down, and then I had to rotate it. So we'll see if the Cocoa Mojo pays off. And I think this one is also hypo. Really cool. Definitely hypo. Definitely pastel. I don't know if I recognize Enchi in any of these, because Enchi should be passed down at a rate of 50%. So that means half the clutch should be Enchi. Another way of looking at it is that each egg has a 50% chance of being Enchi. And I don't see that here. This one definitely looks like a hypo. Very similar to that in color. That one right there in color, but this has more cleaner alien heads. Alien eyes are lacking. This one's got, you can see a few already. All right, so moving on, we got 2 left 2 eggs left. Show me an Enchi. Show me the money. No, I'm kidding. I want to see the Enchi. And is that an Enchi? That's definitely a pastel. Again, no hypo here, so this would be a triple het hypo clown pied. Very nice. And I talked about this before, when there's hets, when there's multiple hets, you often get an animal that is a very nice example. So if this is a pastel, this is probably going to be a really, really nice looking pastel because you have the influences from those 3 hets. We got the last one. This is a pretty big one. I can feel it pushing back as I picked it up. Really hoping this one is a clear Enchi, because it would be really weird if I'm not getting Enchis. I mean, we know the mom is an Enchi, and these eggs definitely came from her. That is nice, and I think this is the Enchi right here. Look at the oranges on this one. So pastel Enchi for sure, maybe hypo pastel Enchi, and if that's the case, this is the best one out of the group. This is what we want. This is the best that we could hope for, is the pastel Enchi hypo double het for clown and pied. Wow, that's nice looking, very clean, very cool. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 eggs, all cut, and we'll just put this back into the incubator and let them come out on their own. So Royals, I was so fixated on trying to identify those hatchlings in their eggs that even when I saw a hypo on some of them, it didn't really dawn on me, or maybe I did realize, but it just didn't sink in, that the female, the mom to this clutch, the Enchi pied, is now 100% het for hypo. So we totally proved her out. And this makes me so happy, because I had speculated her to be het for hypo this whole time just because of how bright and beautiful she is. I never saw another Enchi as bright as her, and so she's definitely going to play a big role in the pied hypo project. And speaking of roles, these hatchlings have a big role to play themselves. I can't wait for them to all crawl out so I can sex them. And of course, I'll bring you that update video as well. So that about wraps it up for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to this channel and you want to be informed of future uploads, make sure you're subscribed and ring that notification bell. As always, thanks for watching. Please share, and remember, rules for life. Peace out.